So guys, welcome back to the channel. Quick review for you. This right here is a headset that came from Five Below. It was $8 before taxes. It's called the Shine. You can't miss it. Inside the store, the box looks like this in case anyone needs to know. Take a screenshot and then you'll find it in the store. So it does actually have a 8 to 10 hour battery life if you turn the lights off right here, which I'll show you guys how to do that a little later in this section. There's timestamps in this video. You get 3 to 4 hours of battery life if you leave the actual lights on. It does have a headphone jack at the bottom, which it doesn't come with the 3.5 headphone jack, but if you happen to buy one or have one, it will work for it. You have the USB-C on the bottom. You do have your power button, volume buttons, and the actual dedicated light button right here. And I do have, again, a section dedicated to show you each part of the functionality. On top of that, it's not a bad headset for what it does. I do think that this will make a decent gift, but just kind of keep in mind that because this is a cheaper Five Below product, I can't guarantee the quality if you buy this. Sometimes they come defective, sometimes they don't. So my suggestion is to hold on to that receipt. Now, there is no type of IP rating. So if you're going out in the rain, if you're going to the gym with these, if you're going to the beach or something, I really would not suggest that, because if it gets damaged, you're gonna ruin your product. And on top of that, like I said before, it is cheaply made. Look, you see it peeling if I pull this back a little bit. So it's not of the highest quality at all. But again, for $8, it's not bad. So what comes with it? You basically just have the USB-C cable right here, as you can see, and use your own. If you have an iPhone or Android user for forever, every phone they have pretty much comes with USB-C at this point. But if you don't have USB-C, then this cord will be helpful to you. And then you do have the actual instructions itself, with the instructions of how to use the actual buttons and the pause and play and things like that. And I'll have a section for you guys. So with that being said, let's get right into the review. Timestamps are in the description, and let's talk about if this is worth purchasing. So in order to sync the buds, you do have to hold the power button for a couple seconds. Let me do that. It actually says power on. Then you see this red and blue blinking. That means that the headset is now currently in pairing mode, but just to be safe, give it a couple seconds. From there, all you gotta do is go to the settings. It'll be the same with Apple, it'll be the same with a Steam Deck, a Nintendo Switch, whatever Bluetooth device that you're using to sync this with. And we're gonna go down. So it should say Shine LED Bluetooth headphones. It's pretty obvious based on what I'm seeing here. I'm gonna go ahead and click it. And we're gonna hit pair. I'm gonna hit allow just for the sake of it. You don't have to do that. I'm gonna go ahead and hit pair. And it's connected. As you can see, it's no longer blinking red and blue. It'll only blink blue now, and I believe, because it's connected and you're good to go. And that's pretty much it. Now, this headset doesn't have any multi-point or anything. And if you wanna unsync it, you just have to hit this little cogwheel. I'm using Android, and press forget. Apple has their own forget. Every version of Bluetooth, on whether it's a Windows device or Apple device, has a forget option. So you can give it to somebody else if you choose to. Now, if you forget to do that, as long as it's within the Bluetooth range, like outside of the Bluetooth range, 32, 33 feet, whatever it is, it'll put itself back in pairing mode when you power it back on, and then you can use it for the next person. So keep that in mind. So the microphones were pretty clear for the most part indoors though. Like outside, it didn't really perform as well. I did a couple tests with my wife. On the subway, she couldn't really hear me at all. She heard the screeching and the backgrounds and stuff like that of the actual trains and conversations with other people. So if it's heavy winds outside, it's not going to perform well. If you're indoors, if you're in the bathroom, if you're in your office, if you're just walking around your home, if you have like 1 or 2 TVs on, or people are having conversations in the background, not crowds, but just a couple of people, then the headphones perform just fine. But the microphones are only $8 worth of microphones, so don't expect JLab or Soundcore level of quality or Soundpeats or anything like that. But it's good enough. Don't get me wrong. For $8, it's really good. Now, when it comes to the actual music quality, I listened to a bunch of different songs. A couple songs from Expedition 33, a couple songs from Final Fantasy, Lil Uzi Vert, Tekashi 69, just a bunch of different artists, R&B. I tried different genres, and I gotta say, it performed a lot better than what I thought it was. I even decided to play video games like Hollow Knight and Ender Lilies, Ender Magnolia, because they tend to have a lot of music playing around in the background along with pretty heavy sound effects, and Resident Evil 4 Remake. And the gunshots sound pretty good with this headset, even though it doesn't have HD quality.
my consensus is that it performs very, very well. To be honest, I kind of wish it had like a 20-hour battery life, because the aesthetic of the headphones lighting up is really cool, and I think that a lot of people are going to pay attention to that. But anyway, back to this part. The bass line sound decent enough when it came to like songs like AC/DC, Tekashi 6ix9ine. You know how the bass drops in a lot of these songs. It's not going to be as good as JLabs or Soundcores or AirPods or Galaxy Buds or Soundpeats or anything like that. But it's good enough where it doesn't feel like you're left in the dust. You know how sometimes certain headphones are so poorly received that it's like you don't even want to use them? You're not going to have that issue with this particular one. And again, under $10 for a headset that has good sound. The microphones are good enough. They're not high quality, but it's still in a realm of affordability. I think that it's a major goal for anyone that is actually interested in this product. But what I will say is that if you purchase this, hold on to your receipt. If you don't like it, remember, I'm just a reviewer. You may want a particular sound that this does not have, and it's understandable if you don't like it. I say hold on to your receipt and take it back if you don't like it. But if you want quality, you are going to have to spend a little bit more money, like maybe $20 to $25 or so, to get a product from a name brand company that's been proven with better reviews to last longer. Just kind of keep that in mind.
So the fit of these headphones was a little awkward for me at first. When I put it on, right, I actually wore it with a hat, without a hat, and I put a winter hat on just to kind of get the elements of how it would be in the winter time if you chose to wear this, right? And the common denominator was the lower half is way heavier than the top half. So if you're wondering what it is I'm talking about, let me just go over this part first. It is pretty flexible. As you can see right here, very, very flexible and whatnot. It works well in that regard. And of course you can pull this, extend it back and forth like so, and it works perfectly fine. The downside is when you place these inside of your ears, even though this is a soft cuff and it covers the side of your face, you kind of have to fit your ear in the cuff perfectly, because if you don't, the bottom half feels heavier, like it's leaning forward. The top part is very, very light. Like this part right here looks thick, but it's actually very, very light. It's this what you have to worry about. But at the end of the day, it took about maybe 10, 15 minutes and I got used to the weight distribution and it wasn't an issue after that. Now, I didn't actually wear this for the full 8 to 10 hours. I wore it for the 3 to 4 hours with the light on, and I didn't have an issue with much air fatigue at all. I didn't have any soreness on the side of my face, but I'm going to be honest with you, if you wear these, you are going to notice the weight discrepancy because they are cheaply made. But again, for $8, it's a minor gripe. I do think that it works pretty well for the most part. Children with smaller ears, it'll be easier for them to fit this, but if you're an adult with bigger ears, I'm not going to necessarily suggest this, but for $8, you can always try it out. In worst case, if it doesn't work, take it back to the store. So, no harm, no foul in that regard. So I have the instructions on the top left-hand corner of the screen right there, but let's go through it anyway. So you have 4 buttons right here. This is the power button. Oh, sorry, I'm all out of camera view. This is the power button right here. We have volume down, volume up. And then we have the actual, this is the dedicated button for the light. So let's go through that one first. If you tap it, it'll actually change through the different types of lights that you have right here. I think it's like 4 or 5 colors or so. And if you want to turn it off, you actually have to hold this button for about 2 seconds. It powers the lights off, but the headset is still on. You hold it again to actually turn it on. So if you're trying to get that 8 to 10 hour battery life, you're going to have to turn this light off. And also keep in mind that 8 to 10 hour battery life is based on the maximum volume of whether you're listening to it between 50% all the way to 100%. Now, as for the physical buttons, let me turn it sideways so it's a little easier to see. You have volume up. If you tap it once, it'll change the song. If you hold it, it'll make the volume go up. Pause and play is the power button. Also, it doubles down as a multifunction. And then volume down, if you tap it, it changes the song backwards, repeats the song, or you hold it, it makes the volume go up and down. Now, keep in mind, when it comes to changing the song, it depends on the application that you're using. For me, I use Power Amp, so I have music that I own, so it will go to the previous song. But if you're using something like Spotify or if you're using YouTube, it may actually skip to the next video depending on what it is that you're doing, whether you're on Apple or a Android device. So just kind of keep that in mind. But outside of that, I mean, the control functionality is very easy to use. You shouldn't really have any problems. But again, just take a look at this section. My suggestion is screenshot the instructions over there just in case you lose them, so you always know how to use the button functionality. So to answer the question of whether this is worth the $8, absolutely. You have a decent enough battery life, which is 8 to 10 hours with the light off. If you want to keep it on, 3 to 4 hours. The bass, the quality, the music quality, I don't think it's bad at all for $8. And if you're like me and you have an equalizer on your phone or Dolby Digital or some other features, you can definitely enhance the sound. I didn't have any issues with it breaking up with playing video games. If I played a little shooter game or something like that, like World War Z or certain games that I tested, I was able to hear zombies on the left or the right with 7 days to die. It performs very, very well. Granted, it is a low profile headset, but it'll be good enough for the people out there that just want something that's decent enough. Like, not every parent has the money to spend $20, $30, $40, $50 and more on headsets. So something like this will hold you over. But again, because this is a Five Below product, I can't guarantee how long it's going to last, obviously, because sometimes they're made well, sometimes they're cheaply made. But I'm hoping that this is something that people can hold on to, because I do actually like it. Even though it's not the highest end product, I think that it will serve the purpose for whoever buys it, and that's all that matters at the end of the day. But anyway, like and subscribe like always. I'll see you guys in the next video. Till then, take care, peace, and God bless.